we'll see how they opt to go with it. If I was Motivate right now, I would look to go for something that is going to deal a lot of magic damage, that is very good with roaming, because that's one of the weaknesses. Let's say the Lina does go the position 2 route, you can punish it quite heavily. You have no escape potential. That's the hero's big weakness. So maybe something like a Tiny that Q's already shown very high proficiency on, that's able to get just a few levels, rotate through. It also does a lot of damage against something like the Timbersaw. You can, hell, toss the Abaddon away to stop some of the saves coming through. I'm just thinking of like all the different things that can be good from it. Or hell, even an Earth Spirit or something like that. They're going to go with the Rubik instead. It's alright. I mean, just a lot of extra damage and duration on a lot of your stuns that you might be able to steal away from the Lina.
Yeah, there's some great abilities to steal this game. All the Timbers, pure damage, using the Welling Death back against the Timber can be great. The Lina abilities to shove out lanes or deal damage. The Abaddon shield if you can get it. Like, it really does seem like the 3 heroes that Lilgun have at the moment. You get any of those spells, you'd be pretty happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Dire team pick.
Ember Spirit.
Okay, well, seems like lanes have been pretty well revealed. And now with that, you've got Motivate.Trust, who now would be feeling a bit more confident. They know what their mid matchup is. So it's just the carry that they've got left on Lilgun. I don't see why not.
10 seconds remaining.
I think, who was it? Was it Ponlo that was doing we were talking about this tier list that they've done before. They're just going to go back for the Kunkka. Why not? I thought Fearless's performance was pretty good, landing a bunch of nice boats onto Sanctity in particular. But if it was the Storm Spirit, I remember Ponlo was like, Fearless is like a B tier mid within Southeast Asia, unless he's playing the Storm Spirit, and then he's like a C minus. So that goes to show how little faith, at least externally, people give to his Storm. But obviously the Kunkka, he's feeling much stronger about. He also has the legendary boots on Kunkka, so he leaves little puddles wherever he walks as well. So that's a pretty cool little thing that he's been able to get for himself.
I'm trying to remember the Kunkka boots now. I don't remember seeing it before.
Something Striders or something like that. I'm not sure 100% of the name, but just have a look once we get into game.
It's not called the Waterlog Conker shoes. They're kind of cool.
I'm not good with names on items. I just know what looks cool.
Yeah. There's some really cool Conker sets, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a... Definitely someone you can be pretty creative with, itemization wise. What do we feel like though for Motivate?
5 seconds remaining.
Like, what is the Conker able to provide in this game? Is it just, again, you see this real tanky hero that can make a lot of plays, strong in the laning phase, gives you a little bit of catch?
Yeah, and particularly against the Ember Spirit, right? You're not really all that worried about getting caught out. His armor is better than the Puck's is, so you're not going to punish him that much. But, you try for a lot of these sneaky moves with your Remnant. If you time the X marks perfectly, you can catch that last Remnant before he's able to get away. You can also stop him from TPing back to base and refilling his bottle if you're on point with the Torrent, with the X marks. And, again, it's just a lot of pressure against the likes of, Alina, who's a little bit squishier. You're still going to be able to tear through that. And it just enables your team to really collapse in around you as well with that boat. So I think it's an alright pick. It's nothing amazing, to be perfectly honest, but clearly he's just feeling confident about how game 1 went.
Well, MG.Trust is, unfortunately, you take a look at the hero pool that he has available right now. 5 bans from Lilgun, all prioritized at trying to deal with the Sand King. Okay.
Gives you guaranteed stun set up with the Rubik as well. Not bad. It's not great against the Abaddon though, right? This dual stun lane, you can just Aphotic shield it off. So as long as Abaddon's not out of position and getting the stun himself, then should be okay for Lilgun. I wonder how they're going to go. Are they going to go for a ranged hero to combo together with this, which means Abaddon needs to be taking away a lot of the threat, but then you're putting yourself... I'm going to go with the ranged hero. You're putting yourself in a lot more danger about getting burst down as Ace himself, but we'll see what Clinks is able to do. It's not amazing against any of these heroes. I suppose his role is just going to be roaming around trying to deal with the supports super early on, because a lot of your team fight does crumble if the AA is gone. There's so much damage potential that you're able to get from just having Lionax out of the fight. Suddenly, Abaddon is enabled so much more with his Mist Coil. You can go in and soak up a lot of damage with that borrowed time. It's going to be a pretty big deal for Lilgun to be able to take out Lionax and find him, most importantly, because he's been pretty on point with his positioning.
Yeah, at least the Clinks, once he's able to come online, did you feel like Lilgun might have a bit of a window of opportunity over Motivate in this game? Can they come online early enough to maybe pressure the Wraith King pre-Radiance?
It's going to depend on how the lanes go, right? Like, if Ace is out of position and he gets caught a couple of times with the double stuns coming through from Masaros and Q and dies, it's not going to look great. But, you've got some good movement speed on the Abaddon, so might look to do a little bit of lane manipulation, try and guarantee that 1-2-3 gets that base level of farm so that he's able to rotate through. I don't think we're going to be seeing any kills happen, at least for Lilgun's side in the bottom lane. But top lane for sure, they've got a lot more of that possibility. Wraith King needs to come forward to last hit. The Mortal Strike got a slight nerf to the cooldown at level 1. Now it's 5.5 seconds, I believe. So much less of that lane sustain. And you're up against a Timbersaw and a Lina, who have a high amount of burst damage potential. So could be a little risky for Jackie as well as Lionax, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that we will indeed here. Motivate, looking to try and start off the Loopbet Pro Series Season 6 with a 2-0 victory here from the boys that got promoted into the next season with the upper division in DPC. And well, we're looking for Lilgun on what they're able to do here to try and even up this series. They did take it against SMG, which we saw yesterday, which is a very, very strong team in itself. And let's see if they're going to be able to have some of the same success heading into it. I mean, Sanctity on very much a comfort hero like the Ember. We've seen time and time again. He can always make those plays and always keep them in the midst of a tight-knit game here. So, see, it does really feel like, though, that it's going to be pretty reliant on Sanctity to be making the plays, though, this game, right? Because you don't have, like, the Clinks isn't going to get involved too early on. I mean, Abaddon can't do much. Marvel's kind of going to be standing his ground in, like, a lane. So is it really just up to the Ember to be, making these rotations and pushing the tempo?
I think so. You have no easy setup for the Light Strike array. That's the big issue for mine. So if you get that Searing Chains combo off, finally you can start to lock someone down, get that burst potential through. I mean, it's just so hard, right? You need to make sure that you're connecting it through either onto some of these supports and making the team fight slowly dip in your favor, or you need to make sure you're getting it onto Kunkka before he gets that boat off. I think it's worthless to try and commit it onto the Wraith King super early on. Like, he's always going to have that second life. You've got a lot of turnaround potential with the rest of the team when they get the time to rotate through. I think it's when the Clink starts to come online that Jackie might need to start being a little bit more careful. Well, that is, if the Clinks comes online. I feel like the side of Motivate, they're going to be a lot more vigilant about these sentries going to be up on the map than we saw from Lilgun in that game number 1.
What do you feel like the item build is going to be for the Clink? Because I haven't really seen this hero as much lately, so I'm not too sure on what the kind of key items that we see a lot for him, if it's the same or if it's kind of switched up.
Look, I'll be honest, I have not seen much Clinks at all. Previously, we saw in China they would get occasionally like the Falcon Blade, but it feels like no one's buying that item anymore. I feel like the simple things like an Orchid are totally fine. It allows you to lock in onto something like the Rubik, who does have at least some potential to stop you with the telekinesis, but he can't get away if he's just silenced up. And he doesn't want to buy a Glimmer Cape either on this Rubik, so Q's going to need to be real careful.
Is that not going to reveal the ward? What? Okay, I'm surprised they didn't recognize that. Q just... He hit the creeps from behind the tree line, and they didn't ping out that there was a ward there at all, but... Looks like they're already
starting...
Maybe
it's a non-verbal thing. Ace already has the sentry ward, so... We see.
They're already looking to try and cut the wave here, and Masaros is just not wanting to go head-to-head in that lane. Where it's been a bit difficult so far, because Ace is doing a very good job on his positioning on the Abaddon, just getting up in the face of the Rubik and the Sand King and giving a lot of the early space here for the first couple of waves to the Klings.
Well, they've got complete control now over the lane with these sentry wards. It's going to take some good positioning. They need to push the wave a little bit forward. Are they going to be able to get it? No, they actually don't. So the D ward gets done in time. I think they could have waited right there for the lane to push forward a little bit more, perhaps, before committing with that sentry, but they don't. And it just means that Masaros is happy to stand just outside of tower range and kind of bully out Ace here just with a Sandstorm DPS.
Yeah, now it makes it so much more difficult for Ace just to push on in. They don't have the hard camp, but the next minute mark they will be able to start to utilize that, and that's going to be so much more. It's really going to enable the Motivate bottom lane here, because then you can have the Sand King shove out the lane, the Rubik can get the creep equilibrium back in your favor, try and deny a couple creeps or two from that hard camp pool. You see, mid lane Sanctity might get the kill on Fearless as he got the movement speed to continue chasing, and he does. Sanctity picks up a big first blood here. Flame Break. It is about to expire though, so Q is not going to have to go through that magical absorption, and already having 2 points in the Fade Bolt is plenty of damage to get a return kill. Nonetheless though, Sanctity picking up first blood.
Nicely done. It's they needed that for sure, because this bottom lane, in terms of the D ward battle, going horribly for Lilgun. I mean, they've had, I think, 2 or 3 sentry wards already denied, and it just means that they've got complete control over as soon as these sentries get revealed. I mean, if I was Masaros, I might even start cutting down a few more of these trees just so that, you know, you have complete vision of whenever anything is revealed.
And the one lane we haven't really looked at the moment is up top as well. Now speaking about top, Hishki falling really low, and he's actually going to end up losing his life. The Cold Feet just getting the proc. You know, we do see Marvel at the moment. It's 18-3, having a relatively strong lane. Couple more last hits over Jackie, and you know, I feel like... What do you think the laning phase is going to look right now for Hishki's leaner? Because the Timber is definitely someone that wants to have a little bit of extra support through the first early couple of waves, but then once you start to get levels, you do like to play solo. So do you feel like Hishki then will have a little bit more emphasis on maybe rotating mid or playing around bot?
I think so. I think that's totally reasonable. I mean, at least until the AA is level 6, you're not really all that worried about staying up on this top side as the Timbersaw. Now that Hishki's hit up onto his level 3, he's looking to start to make that rotation, or at least get some stacks off for his team.
He got? He get the H?
Just gets the hard camp. It's fine. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. Great mind. We're both going for it. Hishki is just... At least he's gonna enable Sanctity. We say that, and the next minute somehow Motivate sweep on over and just take them all.
Where are the rest?
Jackie does have the armlet queued up as well. They're actually going to come top for the kill on Marvel. They'll need all the extra damage from the Conquer. See if this is going to be enough. Drag back, Timber.
Oh, nice.
A lot of reactive, but it's not going to matter. They're still able to bring him down, and Hishki... Well, he's going to fall as well. 2 quick pickoffs there. Great rotation coming through from Fearless's Conquer. We saw what he could do in game 1, and is now already having a pretty good start. I mean, he did get solo kill from Sanctity, but we've kind of put that on the back burner.
Waterlogged Conquer Shoes is the name, by the way, of these little water trails following him around.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Never refuse good.
I'm telling you, Conquer's got some cool items. What do you think the best hero is in Dota that has cosmetics wise? Like, just seems there's a plethora of good ones you can always have on him.
I mean, cool is subjective, you know.
That is
like,
true.
I feel like Pugner's gigantic hat plus his weird ward and all this other stuff looks ridiculous. And for that, I love it.
We haven't really seen too much Pugner. That hero, staying a bit out of the meta. not getting too much love as of late.
I need to use my BZZ Pugna set. You know, I've had it since the dawn of time when sets were a thing. Like, that's what I want back. Why do the supporter packs not have like a team set? Like
That
they
would be
used to
cool.
have,
That would be really, really cool.
yeah.
On top.
Like there's the Wraith King. He's
Again.
in level 6 though.
Marvel dragged back, but you see all this
timber
extra
chain.
damage. I love this build, Lion Axe. 2 points in the Vortex, just 16% increased magic damage. They do have Sanctity that's going to swing on over, kind of mirrored the movement from the Conquer. Vortex
fast.
slow still. Jackie trying to get out of range. Another Vortex slow.
Rum buff.
And Sanctity really doesn't want to commit another Remnant to get that kill, but now he's
doesn't
in
have one.
trouble. Gonna attempt the TP out. Yeah, I didn't actually even go for it, so it looked like the TP animation, but they bring him down. Very nicely done there. So we're just seeing these rotations from Fearless so far have been on point.
That's the thing. Like we talk a lot about these comfort heroes, and for good reason. He's following the little attacker neutral camp patterns where he pulls the creep wave. It's a double stack both ways, and he's just flash farming up. 78 last hits compared to 51 on his next highest competitor. Even picking up health. The possessed mask ends up giving it through to the Wraith King. Why not? He just needs a little bit safer way to farm.
I watched a pub recently where Attacker had a 12-minute Radiance and like 200 CS at like 14 minutes into the game. I was just absolutely speechless. I'm like, well, what is going on here? You see,
Did the supports just like not lane and just spend the
I have
entire
no
time stacking?
idea.
Or...
I have no idea. Like it was Quinn's stream and everyone was of course asking questions and we just we weren't paying attention to the game, and then next minute, you know, the items pop up on the side of the screen and we're like, hang on, this is a pretty early Radiance. What's going on? I look at the time, it's 12 minutes. Like what? 12-minute Radiance? It just doesn't make sense. No idea.
Pretty nutty.
Fearless
again. Another rotation.
This time they got the Ice Blast. They're probably just going to need the 2 here to get the kill. Oh, Motivate just have such an incredible understanding of the resources they need to provide on the map to get what they need done. Like, they don't need Jackie there. He's going to occupy mid. He wants to get out of top, shove out the lane, go back, farm up the jungle. And you've now got 3 very early deaths on the Timber. And now they have the Ice Blast. So now your early game is going to get that much more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least this time, 1, 2, 3, he's having a better game relative to how the first one. He didn't have a bad start to the lane necessarily in game 1. It was just that Jackie's Medusa was going absolutely bonkers. But this time around, he's about 400 net worth ahead of the Wraith King. He's continuing to farm. He's getting a lot of solo experience, not even needing Ace to be here to assist him with a lot of these. I can't even call it the laning stage anymore. It's 10 plus minutes, but
not again.
He's got the Blightstone.
Oh, no. Not again. Make it stop. Marvel's like, team, I need help. I really do. They're just ganking me too much. I mean, he gets a return kill, but I don't know. They're really going to have to start putting a couple heroes up top. They will get a kill on Sand King. Fearless is going to be a little bit more difficult, though. Finally, boat's going to fly. Gets that run buff into the TP out. Is there a cancel? There is not. Chains, LSA, both on cooldown, but we do see Ace, along with 1, 2, 3, gets a very impactful kill onto MG.Trust, who's actually rushing a Blink Dagger this game.
Okay. Something a little bit different there for him. I guess you just want to enable this Conquer as much as possible, right? So it's all about catching the backline. Again, if you're able to counter-initiate onto 1, 2, 3 when he starts to make these rotations, I feel like that's going to be really impactful. Same sort of thing with Sanctity, right? He's going for no Yules, just Orbital Corrosion Maelstrom into a BKB. So not too much save potential, at least for the next 10, 15 minutes or so.
Oh my lord.
Stolen Light Striker, eh?
No, it was just Lion Axe level 7 doing a chunk of his health pool with Ice Blast and then Q fade boarding him down. Like, look at the levels on the supports. Rubik is 8, AA 7. I mean, Radiant supports at level 7 as well, but they are just not having the impact that we're seeing from the Motivate supports right now. Like, Lion Axe has been involved in 8 out of the 9 kills. Again, we saw in the first game, Q was on point with how he was playing the Mirana, and now it's Lion Axe's Ancient Apparition.
Trying to make a little something happen against Sanctity. They get the Stolen Lightstrike Array off onto him, and that's going to be enough to take down Sanctity. Even with the 4 points in the Aphotic Shield, 6-second cooldown, not going to be enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So
Radiant's middle tower is
Marvel,
under
he's doing his
attack.
best to try and take this. At least now, he has 1 point in Timber Chain. It took him until level 8 to get it, but he's there.
And now he's looking to have a creep wave. Like, I love this. Masteros actually went Boots of Travel. Okay, so what do you think is the thought process for Masteros to go Boots of Travel over the Blink that he had queued up for a long time?
I think just consistently being able to go in and counter-initiate onto these squishier heroes. Hell, any hero, to be honest, that isn't called Abaddon. You know, Abaddon's the only one that you really don't want to start the team fight onto. You know, if you can catch the Clinks, the Lina, they're going to drop instantly. We've seen it's going to take a few more people to be able to catch out this Timbersaw, but I think he just wants to be able to join team fights as frequently as possible.
I do like how they're also posturing Masteros now up top. Like, your supports aren't able to defend the tower like the Sand King against someone like the Timber. And Marvel really needs creeps to actually do damage onto towers.
He can see you.
Uh-oh, not again. Epicenter now are going to be combined up. They need a little bit of extra damage. Oh, I say that. The damage is already so high. A Sand King Conquer is enough, just dropping both the ultimates there. And this just shows the horrible start that Marvel has had. And, I mean, he's getting brought down from 2 heroes, something that you don't see so often on a Timber. Still up top. Battling out of the river. They do get at least their own rebuttal kill on top of the Ancient Apparition.
It'll be okay. You know, they tried to make something happen on the counter. I mean, Marvel is desperately trying to get his Hood of Defiance up. He's only about 120 or so gold away, so it's not going to be too far, but you can just see the TP coming instantly from the Sand King. Do they have detection? They don't right now, but the Abaddon's got it coming with the Dust available. If they get a double stun here, this would be horrible for Masteros.
Very nicely done. A lot of physical damage that is able to be ripped through. 1, 2, 3. He's got the Blightstone, Medallion working on the Deso. You know, this is definitely one thing that could work in Lilgun's favor. Their capability to be able to take Roshan, considering they're on the Radiant side. Not right now, but maybe with the pick off, and they always have that threat of at least taking the Rosh objective.
Yeah. So taking the T1 tower, great success, but all that time Jackie's just been farming down the bottom side. He's got an armlet going into the Radiant straight afterwards. I don't mind it at all. You know, you've still got that burn, which is great against something like the Clinks, who he himself has got his Desolator finished up. Level 11, so he's going to be looking to be on the move very shortly. He's even got that Dust of Appearance. If early Glimmer Cape or something, what's the reasoning behind that Dust? I guess Sand King if he ever catches him out.
Still having a bit of connection issues, unfortunately, for Radiant. You see, though, great use of their chain lockdown. Just controlled through Sanctity. 4 deaths as well from the Ember. He was able to get a very, very clean solo kill on the Conqueror for the first blood there. But, you know, since then has really kind of started to have a bit more of a rougher time. And that's going to more than likely continue. I mean, you got the Orchid already for Fearless. You know, it's going to force Sanctity to go into kind of this defensive Yule Scepter that at least dispels the Orchid, gives you a nice way to be able to dodge the Conquer combination as well.
Yeah, I mean, you just have a look at the death summary, right, for that Ember Spirit. What happened to him? He got silenced, he got Torrent stunned, he got lifted, he got Sand King stunned to dead in 5 seconds. That's enough time for your Abaddon to rotate through and throw the Aphotic Shield in onto him. I mean, he died right next to the tower, so maybe it was legitimately lag and, you know, they were yelling out on TeamSpeak or Discord or whatever they're using over there. Just, where's the help, boys? But I feel like these main targets that are still squishy, the main one right now being the Ember Spirit, now that the Hood of Defiance has been picked up by Marvel, you just need to have the Abaddon playing alongside them quite frequently. Because Motivate, they're just adjusting their targets based on the enemy's item build. Let's see Marvel. Well, They might still go for Marvel if they've got all of their heroes that they can do.
Oh, poor Marvel. He can get no help. No help, no space. Only one rotation's gonna come through. Now, even though he's completed the hood, it will not matter with how tanky he is. We're able to bring him down with ease. Is it dominating streak for 1, 2, 3? Yeah, MG.Trust is gonna fall to the top side. But Motivate still feel really strong right now. Jackie gets a little bit of a level power spike with that second point in the reincarnation. Do you have to keep in mind how deep you want to go? So another pick off on the support. Hishki will lose his life. We're also going to find that Observer Ward as well that just got placed.
Again, though, where was the rotation? You know, like Ace had his TP available because it was available previously when they could have saved mid, and he just didn't use it until it was too late, and the Timbersaw was dead. I feel like you get a single disruption off onto their stun combinations. I mean, Motivate, they're doing nothing that's you know, out of the ordinary. They're just playing well as a team. They're chaining their stuns together. They're making it all work for them. But a single orthotic shield, you get a Timber chain away. You at least get your Whirling Death off as well, reducing some of the damage that the Conqueror and the Wraith King are doing onto you, and you survive that, you know, and that's not even taking into account the miscoil. So I feel like that's where Lilgun can really lift. Just some of their vision game. They've seen a number of things that have been dewarded. They know they're dropping wards down, so where are your wards? How are you going to respond to this? They get rid of a sentry, but there's this value ward right next to the outpost that's revealing a lot of Lilgun's movement.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Drop one down perfectly by Q. This is what I was talking about.
The vision game, so impactful. Fearless, great use of the Orchid as well. Prevents the Abaddon from getting the saving grace of the Aphotic Shield. They're still going to try and swing on over. Sanctity get involved. Now with the run buff starting to come through, you see the lack of damage. So dropping the Laguna Blade. Fearless, double stun with the LSA. MG.Trust going to try and counter initiate with the epicenter, but the Barrow isn't there at the moment. They'll turn to deal with Lina. A big crit from Jackie claims the life of the support. But Sanctity still looking to try and create some chaos in the backline. The control's not there. MG.Trust, he can hunt soon if he wants to. Blink Burrow up and ready to go. But it does look like that's going to be the end. So 2 for 2 for including the reincarnation life.
But the value of sentries, you know, you might say, okay, they're playing around this area, they just dropped it so that they had vision on this high ground just in case they had a ward there. But again, you're against a Clinks, and I mean, it's been cleared out now, but the entire Radiant jungle was littered with dire sentry wards just because they know that's where Clinks is. Clinks doesn't want to be off jungling. Clinks doesn't want to be pushing lanes solo. He is a single target hero. He needs to be killing heroes. And, well, if you're not on the top side of the map, and if you're all grouped together on the bottom side, you're A, taking away the enemy's farm, their safe farm, and B, you're preventing Clinks from doing what Clinks likes to do.
And you see this is all from Motivate without having that Radiance completed for the Wraith King, which is now picked up. So they are hunting.
Healers should die here.
Torrent doesn't get connected on Sancti, will not matter as Radiant surround the Conqueror and able to bring him down. Now, do they think about Roshan? We only got 1 point in the Curse of Avernus, but
they've got a Medallion though, and they've got a Desolator. It's enough.
And this is the capability that I was bringing up earlier. You know, the one pick off, or maybe just the sneak potential that Lilgun were able to offer. They haven't brought it down
Marvel
just yet, so you gotta keep in mind. And now being Motivated, if they could delay this long enough for the Conqueror to respawn, a great double stun from Hishki. MG.Trust, he just gets ripped apart. And Sanctity
supports as well.
Yeah, he's just zoning them away from being able to protect Jackie. Radiant once again surrounding a core. They'll kill off the reincarnation, but he's got absolutely no backup. Sanctity's doing such a good job at zoning away the backline here. Jackie would turn, kills off Marvel, gets the stun on top of the Clinks as well. The detection isn't going to last long enough. The Aphotic Shield protecting 1, 2, 3, and Fearless is back alive. Jackie, he's sustained the damage long enough for the Conqueror to at least force back the side of Lilgun. We do see a bit of a messy fight. You know, net worth regards, Lilgun, they do get a little bit of a swing in their favor, but it is still Motivate. You know, the core's getting a lot out of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the team fights are just going exponentially better because of how they're able to structure this whole Hishki again. I mean, he's a star at these team fights, being able to get multi-man stuns off every single time. His positioning has been good, and it's just the strength of having that Abaddon around to be able to protect your Clinks, protect the high damage dealers, and make sure that they are able to do their role. Ace has definitely lifted up after a couple of instances of poor positioning super early on.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, and it's also what Radiant were able to do to... I mean, that was all with Fearless?
About to say, Sentry Ward was just placed down. You had the Invis Rune on Fearless and a very low 1-2-3, but at least, again, he had the Abaddon with him, so he
mid lane.
had some kind of saving grace.
Ice Blast out with the Epi. Just need a little bit of control to set up for the Ice Blast, and Mastros can fly on forward the Blink. That's a great kill for them to find. And Roshan is still relatively weak as well, so they're going to be able to move on over, but half health left, and Radiant, they're kind of in the area. I don't know if they can contest this. Clinks isn't really in fighting shape.
If Ace moves a bit closer, he should be able to see the Radiance burn effect onto him. Does, they should know they're in there, but it's too late.
He just picked up from Fearless. Try and lead into Ace. Well, if they bring down the Abaddon, again, that is a lot of their saving grace. And now they're even able to catch up. The Ember Spirit as well, just an instant burst 1-2 combo from Motivate. We see time and time again from the laning stage execution we saw from the Conquer to really limit the Timber Swords play. And now we're seeing it again through the, about the mid game here from Motivate. And, well, bye-bye Hishki. He's got Yules. So we'll be able to get a little bit of distance away. Still turns around to Dragon Slave and Q's range. That telekinesis. It was from downtown there. All the control they needed, and now going to lead that into a potential tier 2 tower.
It's pretty money. You know, you've got the increased cast range from the Arcane Supremacy. People were saying, oh, but the debuff duration, it's reduced. Meh, meh, meh. 250 cast range for free when everyone else has got their talents removed. I will take that every step of the way.
Radiant's middle tower.
Look at that light striker rate. That's nuts.
Middle tower has fallen.
It's like what we were seeing on the Lina when she would just have the cast range Talon and the Aether Lens. Just using that LSA from absolutely downtown. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
And you just know that he's going to get a Psychic Headband or a Telescope eventually when it's available.
Yeah. It's just the classic. Whenever you need it. Feels like we always see like something like the Medusa. You know, get the Grobo, get those items you want. You know, all those range carries. They get all the items they really need. It's I'm still... Do we see a timing that Lilgun about to hit?
Well, they are about to hit their, oh, have to be careful with where you're timber chaining to, Marvel. At least he's got his teammates nearby, but is it going to be enough?
Oh, the teammates actually went to the northern side. They're going for their own pick off. They'll get the kill, but he's got for Incarnation, and now the rest of the team should be able to swing on over. Laguna Blade's out, but he doesn't have the BKB still just yet. The run buff not going to be able to help out Jackie as well, as he was away from the team. They're going to try and chase him down with the BKB from 1-2-3, but Jackie's able to turn. Get a little bit of life steal back. The BKB's now expired, so Jackie's able to control up and the silence as well, preventing the Abaddon from getting the Aphotic Shield. It's a full team weapon, they call it. Motivate. A 2-0 victory. Such a clean performance from them.
It was a bit of an odd decision to smoke when they did. I understand that they were feeling a little bit desperate. The fact that the Aegis went over to the Conqueror instead of the Wraith King, they were thinking, you know, maybe we can take him out twice. I feel like you need the Timbersaw's damage to be able to do that. And also, they made that move when a wave was pushing into their base, and Timbersaw was like 50 gold away from picking up his Yule's Scepter. Like, just let him get that last wave, protect him to get that, push the wave out of the base so your smoke's not incredibly obvious, and then try and make that play. But, well, that was even faster by about 2.5 minutes than last time. So, Motivate, they're starting out their BTS Series 6 campaign really well. And that is all from them for today. We got more Lilgun, though. They're going up against Boom in the next series of the day.
Yeah, so, I mean, thinking of Lilgun, their first 2 days, they're going to be playing 4 series. This is a lot of their games at the early stage. of the Loot Bet Pro series. So, you know, we'll see if they're able to pick it up. Yesterday they went 1-3. Maybe today, you know, might be the same. Who knows? Maybe they're able to go 2-2. You know, maybe
I
they
don't
go
know.
0-4.
Boom looked pretty
Boom
strong.
did look pretty goddamn strong, and that's going to be the scary thing, especially, I mean, with how Motivate were just able to dismantle Lilgun. The little raccoons, unfortunately, just were not enough here against the team that went flawless in the lower division, which was Motivate. And like you're saying, that's going to be all we see for Motivate today. But next up, Lilgun versus Boom. We'll have a bit of a break. Second series around the corner.